friends, Scott here. Welcome back to another episode of Storytime and Craft here at the Colorado Railroad Museum. This month, we're reading All Aboard ABC by Doug Magee and Robert Newman. Let's ride the rails from A to Z. All aboard? A. Amtrak trains carry passengers from city to city all across the United States. When the engineer pulls these levers, the air brake stops the wheels of the train. B. The boxcar gets its name from its shape. Trains cross different kinds of bridges. This is a trestle bridge. C. The caboose is the last car of a freight train and is used by the train crewman. A coupler joins cars of a train and holds them together. D. On long trips, meals are served in the dining car. Diesel engines are powerful. They pull freight trains and passenger trains. E. The engineer drives the train. He sits in the cab of the engine at the control panel. F. Freight cars carry nearly everything. Tank cars, coal cars, chemical tank car, hopper for grain, coal, oil, grain, lumber, automobiles, vegetables, animals, crates, boxes, large containers. Freight cars have different shapes to do their jobs. G. A grade crossing is where railroad tracks cross a road. H. The engineer sounds the horn as the train nears a grade crossing. I. Inside, looking out, this is what the engineer sees. J. A junction is where railroad tracks cross. K. Keep off the tracks. L. The light lets the engineer see the tracks ahead. M. Some passenger trains are run by electric motor cars. N. Trains need lots of numbers. O. These freight cars are on an overpass above a busy highway. P. Passengers take trains to work and to play. Outside, it may be noisy. Inside, it can be Q. Quiet. R. Railroad tracks are built on a roadbed. S. Signals tell whether to stop or go, fast or slow. Springs on a railroad car make the ride smoother. A switch moves a train from one track to another. T. Rails are fastened to wooden ties in the roadbed. U. Subways are trains that run underground. V. Vents bring fresh air into train cars. W. Trains ride on wheels that fit the tracks. X. X marks the spot where tracks cross a road. Stop, look, and listen before you start to cross. Y. Railroad cars are joined to form trains in a yard full of tracks. Z. Trains zip along tracks that look like zippers. The end. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys. Let's pop on over to Roni for an amazing craft.
Hi everyone, this is Roni once again at the Colorado Railroad Museum. So happy to see you. We are doing a craft that goes with our book, All Aboard ABC. And I really like the book because it talked about all the things about trains that you might not be familiar with. Like train signs and parts of the train. And so today our craft is going to have something to do with trains and making a sign. The most important sign that I can think of is a railroad crossing. And so that's what we're going to make today. Okay, let's see what we need to get started. So first of all, we need a paper plate. We're also going to need yellow paint for the sign and black paint for the X and the lettering. We also need scissors to cut the sign. And we need something to hold the sign. Just use whatever you have at home. And most importantly, you can't paint without a paintbrush. So here's your paintbrush. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so what's really kind of fun about this is that all your big mess is going to be done right here in the middle. And then when you cut everything off, it looks all clean. So I'm going to get my paint. I'm going to shake it just a little bit so it's easier to come to the surface so we can paint. See, so you can paint as messy as you want on here and it's going to be okay. I don't know if you've been to the museum yet or not, but they use railroad crossing when it's coming through the front of the entrance and the train's coming. So if you come and visit us, make sure that railroad crossing is there. Another thing you can do is see some of the other signs that are here or at a rail station. And then maybe you can make some of those signs as well. Have mom or dad take a picture of it. And then when you're at home, you could do the same thing we're doing here, just make it the sign that you found. All right, so there's our yellow sign. It's going to take a couple of minutes for it to dry. So what we're going to do is you can fan it, you can blow on it, but I have a little magic. I'm going to switch. While that one is drying, I have another idea that we can do. So what you can do is take the inside of a paper plate and cut it out as best you can. And this could be your template, and you could put it over the paper, trace around it, and then take it off. Now you have your sign. Just like the other one, you just make an X across, and this might be easier. But if you don't have paint, this is definitely another way to do it. Here is our plate all nice and dry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make our cross and our R's for railroad crossing. Okay. So now we're just going to make a big X across it. I think if you go halfway, that's about the right amount of paint. And remember, there's paint on the back of the brush too. Now we're going to go the other way. There we go. Now sometimes if you're really careful, you can make the R's with the paint. I didn't do so great last time. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to use a marker to make the R's. So while that's drying, you can fan it, you can blow on it, and then you're just going to make your R's for railroad crossing. Gotta hold the paper plate a little bit so it doesn't move and make you mess up. There you go. Easy peasy. Okay, now that everything's kind of drying, we're gonna cut all the extra stuff off. Now, remember, families can help you with this, especially this first part, because we're just gonna trim off the extra part that you don't want. And then as we get the extra stuff off, we're going to go do a nicer, cleaner cut. Paint dries really fast on a warm summer day. Okay, so get rid of the extra. And then you're going to see real lightly where the inside of the paper plate is. And then you can do a nice clean cut all the way around. Okay, there you go. Oh, that looks a little wonky there. We'll fix that. Okay. All right. So now you have your sign. You need a handle for it. Maybe you could even just hang it like this inside on your wall or on your window. But for now, we're going to put a handle on it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your stick, put it in the back. Make sure it kind of lines up this way. If you put it to the light, you can kind of see it. That goes right there. And I'm using duct tape to hold it because it's really, really strong. It shouldn't come off for a long, long time. There you go. There's your railroad crossing sign. I hope you enjoy our craft today. I know I certainly did. So we look forward to seeing you next time. And if you ever get a chance, come back and see us over here at the Colorado Railroad Museum. Thanks. Bye.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Commenting and sharing in particular may qualify as virtual engagements for important funding programs like the SCFD.